All right, hi, Anika, Mr. Parashar.
Hi, Prithvi. Thank you so much for having me for this Mother's Day interview. I really appreciate it.
No problem. How are you doing?
All good, all
Uh,
good.
yeah,
Just, you know how
good.
it is with the pandemic. All of us
Yeah,
are stuck inside trying to make the best of it.
yeah. All right, so I think we should start now. Good afternoon and welcome to Organ India's Live. First off, I'd like to thank all of you for taking some time out of your routine to join us today. Second, I'd like to wish all mothers out there a happy belated Mother's Day. I know that officially Mother's Day was a couple of weeks ago, but at Organ India, we are celebrating the entire month with wonderful mothers all over India. Today, I have with me a person who is not only an amazing mom, but is also the founder of Organ India and chairperson of the Parashar Foundation, Anika Parashar. Welcome to our Mother's Day special live series.
Thank you so much, Prithvi, and thank you for having me today. It means a lot from the organ perspective as well as from being a mom perspective.
Yeah, yeah. Cool, amazing. It's great to have you. So, Miss Parashar, I hope you're doing well in these very trying times for everyone.
Yeah, Prithvi, it's been, I think, a really, really difficult couple of weeks for everybody in India, a couple of months, the last year and a half anyway, but especially the
Hmm.
last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, pretty much everybody has lost somebody that they love, or
Mm-hmm.
people, have been suffering around every single
Yeah.
person. So I think it's something that collectively, the whole country is feeling at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Miss Parashar, let's go back 2 weeks. How did you celebrate Mother's Day with your two kids?
Well, in the pandemic, with everything locked down, it was limited. Having said that, we had a lunch. My brother and sister-in-law came down for lunch as well. The kids cooked something for me, and they made me cards and wrote me letters, which was really nice. And I think for me, it was just the fact that I got to spend a Sunday with my family and and my children that made it special.
But your sister was your sister-in-law was 9 months pregnant, right? How could she managed everything? I
She
mean,
she had her baby, little
that
baby Ashley on
yeah,
Monday, which was the day after Mother's Day. So
that's
she was
constant.
technically mothering prepping
Yeah,
for her baby.
amazing, amazing. So, your own mother, late Mrs. Kirti Parashar, who was the former chairperson of the Parashar Foundation, unfortunately passed away 3 years ago, but not before she had 5 wonderful years with her grandchildren. So, what is your opinion on this? Like, how grateful are you that your mother, even like you had problems finding a heart, she had a heart disorder, and you like wasn't it miraculous that you found a heart and she got 6 special years with her grandchildren?
So yes, Prithvi lost my mom 3 years ago.
Sorry for
Uh,
your loss.
and thank you, and she had her transplant about 8 years back. So we did have 5 years with her. And she was very sick towards the transplant actually being done.
Mm.
And therefore her level of activity and her level of engagement with my children, with my brother and me, and her ability to do things was very limited. I think
Yeah,
having the transplant gave her a second lease of life. It was almost like her rebirth.
yeah,
It gave her, a lot more energy. It gave her the ability to actually spend time with all of us and do things that she hadn't done for a while, like, like travel, spend time
yeah,
with all the people that she loved, etc., and not spend so much time in hospital. So there's
yeah,
immense gratitude for her donor and her donor family, who decided to actually go ahead with the process of transplant donation.
yes, that's good. So while the whole transplant process is going on, it must have been really tough for you who are managing your work, your kids, and your mom as well. You kind of became a mom to her too, right?
Yeah. Those were tough years, Prithvi, because my kids were 5 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I, had a full-time job, and my mom's transplant was in Chennai because there was a lack of a proper organized donor network in Delhi at that point. And so, we did decide to relocate to Chennai to get the transplant done. So my brother and me would be switching back and forth between my mom and Delhi. And my masis helped out as much as they could, but it was really tough to be going back and forth with such young children and
Yeah,
work commitments and the rest of it. And yes, those years, that time in Chennai was difficult because it was so it was a really bittersweet time. Like you were sitting there and you were hoping for the life of your parent, but at the same time, you were very well aware that somebody else was going to have lost their life for you to be able to get that life for your own loved one. So it's a
Yeah.
very, very strange sort of bittersweet time that exists, especially for deceased donations, like in the case of my mother, because you are aware that somebody has to be declared brain dead
Yeah.
for my mother to have
Yes.
a decent life. So yeah.
Amazing. So, in fact, the reason Organ India was created was because of your mom's heart transplant. So, can you tell us about that? What were the other reasons that made you start Organ India?
So my Masi had a heart transplant about 13, 14 years before my mom.
Yes.
It was something that was in the family. When my mom had her transplant, so my Masi decided to get hers in the US. My mom, wanted to get hers in India because by then, they were doing them more proactively in India, and our situation was slightly different.
Yeah.
Um, and at that time, I realized that there wasn't as much information, there wasn't a support network out there as there should be. And as now, so many years on, with Organ India and with other NGOs working in this space and with the health ministry working very actively, there is a lot more that has been done to be able to bring this, together, and to create some kind of, coordination and organization around it. But at that time, because I happened to work in a healthcare company, which is why I had access to resources and information. But even that was limited, and I wondered about all those people who didn't have that kind of access.
Yeah.
I was talking to a very dear friend of mine at that time, and I was telling her how sad I was about it being like that. And she said, I mean, I said, but I have a full-time job, I have the kids, I have this, that. How will I manage it? I can't. I would love to start something like this, but I can't.
Yeah.
And she said, you know what? I will with you. And that's what she did. She just quit her job and she made this her cause, and she really kind of plowed forward, making it her own. And Sunena Singh, who she is the CEO of Organ India, and
Yeah.
her and her team have put this entire ship together over the last 8 odd years. So that's how it started.
Cool, cool, cool. So that's amazing. And as a youth member of Organ India, I know for a fact that a lot of kids my age aren't aware of organ donation. I was in 10th this past year, and there was just a small strip of organ donation, like in one of the pages in CBS. You should really see it. It's like all chapters about science and biology are given, and only one small strip in the whole book is about organ donation. That too, like scarcely they give any information about it. So, like, in your opinion, how should organ donation awareness be spread across schools?
So that's a good point, Prithvi. And you've obviously been a very active member of the youth,
Definitely.
the youth division of Organ India for the last so many years, and appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I know that there's a lot of other kids like you are doing it, but there's still not enough. And I think the kind of awareness programs that Organ India does in schools, and that we've been doing actively, those need to be further kind of added to. I think one of the best ways would be, like you suggested, if it was actually in the textbooks, the kind of reach it would have, the
Yeah.
kind of people, the numbers of children that it would reach would be far greater, and they'd all get the message, in those years, those very formative years of 10th to 12th grade. So I wish that that is something that they did include, and you know because it would further the cause in a much bigger way.
Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of students in 10th grade, they don't really understand what's in the textbook. They memorize it, and then when the questions are asked on the paper, they just puke it out. So, like, I barely remember anything from my ninth grade because that's what
I
I.
don't think your mom would be too impressed with that,
Yeah.
Prithvi. But I think something like this. You may not remember the exact text or the exact words, but you do
Yeah.
remember the concept.
Yeah, that only the smart kids do. Like all the kids who aren't that academically good, they memorize it and then they do it. And I'm not saying I'm not academically good. I'm just I
Making
have
a
my
point.
strengths and weaknesses. Yeah,
Making a point.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. All right. So okay, what was the legacy that? Let's coming back to your mom. What was the legacy she had left behind for you?
So I think my mom's legacy is my brother, me, my children, this home, her family relationships, her
Yeah.
friendships, all of the things that she stood for, and also her values. The fact that, she was a strong, resilient woman. She had a lot of various illnesses and she coped with them, with grace
Yeah.
and dignity. She lived life to the fullest. So she, even though she had a transplant, she was on a lot of medication, etc. She was very, very fond of, going out, meeting her friends, traveling, and she did that till the last day. It was a very, very important part of her life. So in her own way, she really did kind of live to the fullest
Yeah.
that she possibly could. And I think though, all of those things are her legacy.
Mm. Even your niece.
Yes, even my niece, who's now newly born, she is also her legacy. You're right,
Mhm.
Ash.
Even. So now let's just okay. So what according to you is like what advice would you give kids all over the world when it comes to their mothers? Since it's Mother's Day.
I would say that kids all over the world should try and respect their moms, love their moms,
Mhm.
and appreciate them. I mean, we don't really, as moms, we don't really want a lot from our kids. We don't want grand gestures or anything that we don't want thank yous. We don't want gratitude. All we want is to be acknowledged
True.
and to be appreciated. And I think that's something that is a tall order for kids because I don't think I really completely understood or appreciated my mother until I became a mother myself or a
Yeah.
parent myself. So I think you guys will also, frankly, you will only get it when you get to that
Yeah,
stage.
I'll never be a mother though.
But no, you won't be a mother, but a parent, hopefully. And so when you get to that stage, that's when you truly,
Mhm.
truly appreciate your
Yeah.
parents. But I think the main thing is to just love her and appreciate her um,
Until I understand what
until you
she
fully
feels.
understand what it
Yeah.
means. Exactly.
Mhm. Okay. So now we've done advice for kids. We've covered that area. What advice would you give all mothers?
I would tell them not to be super moms. I would say the one thing is that you cannot do it all, no matter how you try. And
Yeah.
a child wants a happy, healthy mother more than anything else. So you
Mhm.
don't have to be this perfect mother. You don't have to be this iron lady or this superwoman. What you do have to be is a healthy, happy mother so that your child can approach you and can talk to you and can lean on you. And it's like I have this analogy like if you're, I believe mothers are like jugglers, they've got so many things happening at the same
Yeah.
time, but if the juggler themselves is not okay, all the balls will drop.
Yeah.
So I think mums need to take care of themselves first, and then everything else follows.
True, true. That's amazing. So with that, we come to an end to today's Q&A. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I hope that if you are over 18, you have pledged your organs or will pledge your organs in the future. Thanks so much, Miss Parashar. It's been a pleasure having you. And on
Thank you
behalf
so
of
much, Prithvi, and I hope everyone does listen to you and pledges their organs.
yes,
Thank you.
and on behalf of Organ India, I wish you all a pleasant weekend. Thank you.